What is going on, guys? This is the SS Ultimate Goku back with another video. And yeah, I know some people are probably going to question the title being my reaction to CM Punk winning, because I'm very happy that Punk is the WWE Champion. But I can't help wonder why they went this way. So my expectation until they said Cody had it, wasn't medically cleared, they're doing a concussion angle basically. Um, my expectation for this Raw was that Cody was going to win. Punk was then going to come out and confront him and challenge him for SummerSlam because they kind of set that up for Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania. That didn't happen. Punk took the spot and won the title. I'm hoping that this is not some 3-week title run because that would be stupid. If that was the case. But yeah, with this, I am wondering if they did this because I was thinking about it all day. Was like, did they do this? Did they do this because they know that Cody? Because if Cody had wrestled Sammy in Chicago, I think the crowd would have been mixed. I think the crowd would have been mixed. And some people would have been not happy that Sammy lost. But because it was CM Punk versus Sami Zayn, everybody was cheering for CM Punk in Chicago. But honestly, I think in any venue, really, other than maybe Saudi Arabia, Punk probably would have gotten cheered more than Sammy would have. I don't think anybody was booing CM Punk last night against Sammy. And maybe that's why Triple H did this. Triple H did this because he didn't want people to turn on Cody. But again, this is a risk factor because, again, if you're doing SummerSlam and if the match is, in fact, Cody versus CM Punk like everybody expects, you gotta believe that people are going to cheer for CM Punk over Cody Rhodes. Okay? Like, CM Punk has never gotten booed since coming back to this company. Okay? Okay, he's never been booed in WWE since coming back. Okay? Cody, on the other hand, has been booed at times. Okay? So, the idea that, and again, because you've seen it for WrestleMania with Randy Orton, they did everything from the kitchen sink to get people to boo Randy Orton. They freaking had him attack him in diabolical ways. They had Pat McAfee involved so bad that Pat McAfee just left the promotion afterwards. So great work there, WWE. Look, I didn't like that Pat McAfee was involved in the angle, but I did like him as a commentator. So not gonna see him as a commentator anymore. No, I hated him in the angle, but I hated him being in the stupid main event WrestleMania angle, but I would have liked him to stay on as a commentator because I like him as a play-by-play commentator. But now we're probably not going to get Pat McAfee as a commentator anymore because they put Pat McAfee, of all people, in so much goddamn depression after that storyline that he quit the promotion. Yeah, he quit because of everything that happened. Like he did, from what I understand too, Pat McAfee didn't even want to do the storyline, but they insisted, like, oh no, you have to do this. This will be amazing or whatever, and it wasn't. And it's kind of funny how that happens, right? David Arquette didn't want to win the WCW World Championship because he thought it would have been stupid. And they insisted on him winning it. And so he won it. And it ended up not being as good as they thought it would. And the guy who said it wouldn't be good ended up being right. But always gets blamed for it now. And Pat McAfee is going to be one of those guys. Pat McAfee's going to get blamed for something that, wasn't his fault. It wasn't his fault. But unfortunately, he's going to get blamed for it because WWE and TKO were fuckers. And decided to do it. So, hopefully they don't do that for the SummerSlam main event, but who the fuck knows anymore. Well, I'm just gonna say they try to make CM Punk and I've said this for a long time. You try to make CM Punk a heel against Cody, you're stupid. It will never work. Punk is still being cheered. Nobody wants to boo CM Punk. You want to talk about Cody being the face of the company? Punk's the face of the company, as far as I'm concerned. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. I don't care. I don't care what WWE says, who the face of the company is. Punk's the face of the company. Because he's universally cheered. He has never been booed the entire time he's come back. Not once. Sami Zayn getting the sympathizing cheers. That didn't happen. Sammy was booed. Punk was cheered. Okay? Punk can do no wrong. Like, literally can do no wrong. You cannot make this guy a heel. You cannot try to do the shit they did with John Cena. You cannot try to do shit with what they tried to do with Randy Orton. Because none of those things worked out. And they definitely won't work with Punk. If anything, I think it would have the opposite effect. People would still cheer him and think he's the babyface. So yeah, I think the right move for this match, if this is the match, assuming it's not going to be a fatal 4-way or a triple threat again, I think the only way to go is to have Punk go over. They'll probably do some stupid ass finish. They might have Sammy involved. Sammy might get involved. Now, right? That'd be something if they did that. But, I think you have to have Punk win. And, and then that'd just be the end of it. Because if the whole idea is WrestleMania, Punk Cody, I still maintain that Roman versus Punk 2 is a better match. It was match of the year because of CM Punk. To all the idiots out there that think he's washed, you're an idiot, by the way. I'm just gonna say that right now. Yeah. Sorry, but 5-star match with Roman. Roman never had a 5-star match before he wrestled Punk. Punk carried him to a 5-star match. Okay? He had a great match with Sami Zayn last night. Okay? If you think Punk is washed, you're an idiot. I'm just going to say that right now. You're an idiot. Okay? Flat out. Yeah, what 5-star match hasn't he had yet? Seth Rollins. That 3-way match they had at the previous WrestleMania. The match against Roman. The match against, the match with Drew McIntyre. Another 5-star match. Okay, the Hell in a Cell match. Okay, should have been the main event, but Dwayne had to get involved in that one. Did you see the meme, by the way? Someone posted a meme about The Rock. The Rock, he heard that Punk's the WWE champion, so now he's going to come out of retirement. I'm like, oh my God. No, don't, guys. No, do not. We do not want that again. But no, I mean, I think Roman and Punk's a better match. Even though I do want Punk to get his win back against Roman, I think it's a better match because there's animosity there. You know, I don't know if they hate each other today. Um, but obviously they didn't like each other for several years while Punk was not with the company. So they're portraying that on television. They're portraying that whole stigma on television, and it's making great TV. It literally is the reason why it's the reason why this year's WrestleMania will be remembered 5, 10 years down the road, because that the undercard was like awful in my opinion. Um, Most hyped match going into this year's WrestleMania, and it was the best match coming out of WrestleMania. Match of the year. I know some people will argue the El Grande Americano versus El Grande Americano match. I don't think that match was as good as Punk versus Roman, but I did think it was a good match. Uh, Absolutely, match of the year. And that's why I tend to prefer that because Cody versus Punk is more of like a dream hype match, babyface program, and that has worked. HBK versus Brett at WrestleMania, Warrior versus Hogan at WrestleMania, Batista versus Undertaker at WrestleMania, Michaels versus Cena at WrestleMania. I mean, those were all successful babyface programs, but the thing with Punk and Cody is that they've been on television like as friends, like they presented their whole real life friendship, which to me I'm not really that fonded of because it just doesn't look right on a wrestling program show. Um, you know, like I think they do it too much. I think they do it too much. I mean, like the Rumble promo they had right before the Rumble was good. The respectable rivalry and stuff like that. We're both good guys, but we respect one another. That works, but some of the interactions lately, are too they're too nice to one another. Um, you have to have some even with them both being baby faces, they have to have some animosity towards one another. Yeah, we're both good, but we have a respectful rivalry. Um, of wanting to be the best. And I don't really see that yet with Cody and Punk, and I don't know if you can really build it in 3 weeks. Um, to me, if you're gonna do Cody Punk, it needs more time. It needs more time to build. And I know this has been a couple years build, but I wanted to see, I want to see, I wanted to see the build that Roman and Punk got for timing. We need to see that type of weeks of build up between Cody and Punk. I think the idea of the storyline, you need to do a little better than that. I think WWE's they got it a little wrong with how they're going about the storyline and how they're gonna do it. Oh yeah, we're just gonna go right into it. And I'm just like, no, man, we got 3 weeks. You know, Cody's on an injury angle right now. I mean, there's so many things that they need to do to make this match interesting. I don't think they got enough time for it. I mean, the match is probably gonna be good. The match is gonna probably be great, but I want to see I want to see the build. I want to see the interest appeal to the storyline in the lead up to what they're going to do. So that's kind of my worry about what they're going to do. There's so much build, so much interest that you need, especially like what you got with Roman and Punk. Which is why I want to see a Punk Roman match again, because Punk get his win back like he should have gotten the first time, but also um, there's that animosity there. There's much more animosity, tension between Punk and Roman than Cody and Punk. Cody and Punk, they're kind of too much in a pie. Too much in a pie. They need stuff like what they were doing a couple of years ago with the Rumble, or like right before the Rumble, that that build tease that made us think that, oh, you know Punk and Roman are Punk and Cody are probably gonna be the last two people in the Rumble. Um, we need that. We need that for this to be interest, and I don't think they're gonna have enough time to do it. Um, will this be the night two main event for SummerSlam? No, I think they're gonna give that to Roman and Seth. Um, Roman and Seth have a little more history and more animosity towards one another. Again, Punk and Cody are friends on TV and in real life. So the selling point between Seth and Roman is going to be more interesting. And so to me, they're going to do that one as the night two main event. Um, because there's more interest appeal, and I think also Seth is getting this match mainly because this is a makeup for WrestleMania. Because I do believe the original plan, especially with everything that's going on right now, I do think the original plan for WrestleMania 42 was supposed to be Seth Rollins defending the world title against Roman Reigns. I don't think Punk was ever going to win the title had Seth Rollins got injured, despite some of the stuff they were doing at the time between Punk and Seth. I wholeheartedly don't think they would have put the title on him if he hadn't got injured and was forced to relinquish it. Because I think the setup was supposed to be what they're doing right now at SummerSlam between Seth and Roman. Only Seth would have been defending the title. Um, and he would have had the Vision instead of the Bloodline. It would have been kind of a role reversal type angle. But I think that's what they were going for. Now this is like essentially the makeup. Like, they're not going to do a WrestleMania match, but they're going to get the next best thing, and that's SummerSlam. And so that's another reason why I think they're going to get the night two main event no matter what, because this is essentially a made up. And no, I'm not complaining about it, because I mean, once Seth unfortunately got injured, it was just easy to put the title on Punk, because Punk was the top contender, and was the next best logical choice. And Punk got the night two main event WrestleMania match out of it, so can't totally complain about it. And even Punk admitted it on the night after Raw. He kind of said in a kayfabe type way that, I wasn't originally slated to be the champion. And just things fell into place. Which, that happens a lot in wrestling. Shawn Michaels was not supposed to wrestle John Cena at WrestleMania 23. It was supposed to be Triple H again, and Triple H got his knee injury, and so Michaels was just inserted because he was the next best logical choice, and that's kind of what happened with Punk when he faced when Seth Rollins got injured. He was just the next logical choice to win the world title and then go on to face Roman at WrestleMania, carry the belt until WrestleMania. He was the next logical choice. So things happen for a reason. I wholeheartedly believe that things happen for a reason, that it was meant for Punk to get that. You know, he didn't get the Drew McIntyre, or he didn't get the Seth Rollins WrestleMania match a couple years earlier because he had a knee, because he got the um, he tore his tricep again on the right one this time. He had tore his tricep, and so he didn't get his world title match against Seth, because I think that was what they were going to go for until Rock wanted to get involved. Um, God knows what would have happened had everything originally was going to go with plan had Punk not gotten injured, you know, and Rock decided to insert himself. Um, of how everything would have gone at that point. But Punk got injured, and that canceled the Seth match. And then Seth got injured, and that canceled his match with Roman, and that's why they're going to have the Night 2 SummerSlam main event as a makeup. But yeah, I mean, hopefully it turns out really good. Um, and I really hope Punk retains. That's all I can really say about that. I'm out. Comment, rate. If you like this video, please subscribe. Hit the notification bell for this content. Thank you. And that's it, guys. I am the S Ultimate Goku. I'm out of it. Peace. Best in the world, guys. CM Punk. Also, besides my YouTube channel, follow me, the Twitch, the Instagram, and do the Discord link in the description. Also, I do have a YouTube community post where I do post community stuff that I am not covering on YouTube on, if I miss out on a video or something. So make sure to check that out. Now I'm out. Peace.